Well, part 2 was Friday, and it began after a very late evening. We did finally make it out to the track to catch the last few cars as they went out for qualifying. At that point, we headed over to the Environ trailer, hung out with the Sim Factory guys some more, turned some laps for ourselves as well as watching others. But we weren't there long before they carted us off again, this time to somewhere that every racer dreams of going, and that's Victory Lane. Well, we weren't there because of anything we had done to earn the position, but we were there for a special honor, and that was to give the Sim Factory Pole Award to Justin Marks, who had taken the pole for the first race of the season at Daytona. What a great looking trophy, and what a thrill it was to be able to be the ones to give it to Justin Marks. And the cool thing is you can see how excited Justin was about meeting us. Well, we promised you a better shot of some of the guys we race with, so here's a great shot of Chad Zimmerman. He's a great racer out of the DMP League. In addition to that, here's a great shot of Nick Neben. Goes by the name Need. Both of these are really great guys to hang out with. And there's one member of the Sim Factory that you're yet to meet, and that's Bill Zimmerman. Goes by the nickname Zippy. From what I understand, Zippy doesn't like sweating much, but we actually got a great shot of him working pretty hard here. We give him a hard time, but that's just because he's such a great guy. Helping Zippy out there is Mark Carter from the Sim Factory. So after the pole festivities died down, we headed back to the Environ trailer. And then we had another treat. Scott Speed was in the simulator turning laps. As it turns out, he was actually racing against Justin Thomas, the guy you met in episode 1. They were really battling it out. Here you had your classic matchup between Sim Racer and your Formula 1 star turned ARCA racer. So what I'm wondering to myself is, what does Scott Speed think about ARCA Sim racing?
What's my best time?
So what'd you think, Scott?
That's cool. I haven't raced myself in a stock car before. That's kind of cool.
As you can see, he really had a good time and really enjoyed the sim. So we hung out there for a while as Scott watched one of his teammates drive the sim, and they compared lap times between each other. So then we headed back to pit lane again. Got there just in time to watch the teams as they prepared to go out for the final practice sessions of the day. Another thing I'd like to point out as we watch this team checking tire pressure before going out is the Sim Factory Pole Award, clearly displayed on every car. You saw us give away that award earlier in the episode. So at this point we're having a great time, watching the cars flying by at over 200 miles an hour.
What's up, Zip?
Oh, no.
So I still can't get over just how fast these cars go by. One of the other things I can't get over are how many cool people hang out at the racetrack, including one of my all-time heroes, Boris Said, just talking to one of the race officials checking out the lap times. So then the 52 car came in on a hauler. I decided to go ahead and go into the garages and get some close-up footage of the damage. You can see that car won't be out on the track anytime soon. So then with a little time left in the day, it was time for NASCAR Cup practice. We got a little opportunity to watch the cars of tomorrow going by. But we'd been going straight for 2 days with very little sleep, and Darren and I needed to get back to that hotel room to recuperate for the rest of the trip. And that's when the phone rang. It was the Sim Factory guys telling us where we'd be going next. There'd be no resting on this evening. So we'll take a quick break and we'll pick up right where we left off when we return.
Some 3 wide for sure. It almost looked like they were trying to make it 4 back there.
This evening's entertainment, World of Outlaws. So we piled back into the SRT HHR, and we drove way out through the boonies until we finally arrived at Volusia Speedway. Well, when we got there, we had no idea where we were supposed to go, so we did what seemed logical at the time, and we pulled up right next to the track. Well, we got out of the cars just as they fired up these winged beasts, and as they came roaring around the corner, we were pelted with rocks and dirt. So we quickly moved and looked for an alternate route in. We were trying to work our way into the pits to meet our guests for the night, and that was the Dillon family. Talk about connected. The Sim Factory and us were invited by Tina Dillon to come watch Austin and Ty Dillon run in the late model division. And that's when it happened. A sprint car came spinning off the track through the guardrail and landed exactly where we are standing. Had we had still been there, it would have taken out the entire entourage, including the Sim Factory and Sim Racing Tonight. But luck was on our side, so we made it into the pits, and there we were on top of the hauler. Talk about the best place to get to watch a race from. And now we are getting to do something that I had always wanted to do my entire life, and that was watch some good dirt short track racing. And there would be plenty of it to see this night. This here being some footage from the late model division. And this was just the late model, guys. We still had the big boys, the World of Outlaws to come. We were getting a first-hand look, and I just couldn't believe my eyes or ears and what it was like being at such a small track with these cars going so fast around it. And to be able to enjoy it with 20 of your new best friends just made it that much cooler. Oh yeah, and did I forget to mention? Austin and Ty Dillon are the grandchildren of Richard Childress. So we were hanging out with them too, and you can see they were having a great time as well.
Where are we at now, man?
Volusia Speedway.
What are you standing on?
I'm on Richard Childress's grandson's hauler.
Oh boy, that's pretty high up in the world, huh?
Hell yeah, man! We're in the infield.
Hey, who's that?
Right on. What's up,
Ian Bushy
From Pro Sim Racing.
Right on.
How's it going, Ian?
Having a good time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Having a little fun. Seen some dirt racing.
I don't know if you've ever had an opportunity to be this close to a sprint car yourself, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's one experience that I'll never forget. In fact, between giving away the pole award earlier in the day and hanging out with the Childress and Dillon family and watching some dirt track racing, this is one of the greatest days of my life. And you can't spend a night at a dirt track without some good wrecks. Yep, we got some of those too. And we were literally just a matter of feet away from this wreck. And believe it or not, that actually once was an outlaw sprint car. Did I mention wrecks? Oh yeah, there were lots of wrecks. Here's carnage from another one of the World of Outlaw collisions. It was a night full of great racing, lots of thrills, and being able to hang out with a great group of people. Here's one more shot of our group on the Dillon trailer watching the racing action. And I'd like to once again thank Tina Dillon and the Sim Factory for bringing us along for such a great ride. And as they say, all good things must eventually come to an end. So the night of racing was over, and it was time to call it a night. So what a fantastic trip so far. And we still have the ARCA race and the Bud Shootout to go, all coming up on Part 3.